was my corn and Limp Biscuit.
Blood for the Blood God, what? Oh, sorry, wrong corn. Thank you, Brian. At least, hopefully, at least someone got that.
It does make for, like, the battle music does make for, like, if you go back to re-listen to a fight, it makes it, like, a lot. It makes it pretty good.
Cameron. Nice. I know the name. I can't remember what song he hit. A single song. Like one song hit. What's his most popular? I don't know.
Who?
Apostrophe, yeah.
I don't know who the hell.
Should I change the name to Solitude but with a money sign for the S? Should I do that?
Oh, please no.
Don't hurt me like that. Don't hurt me.
Tears. I think Tears. I think
You mean-
Tears with the money sign is better. I think Tears.
You mean now that we're rich? Yeah, Solitude should get some gold teeth.
Oh, hell yeah. She could be in a rap video. I could see her getting objectified in a rap video. She'd
Imagine
be okay.
Solitude with adamantite teeth, like some adamantite grills.
We got adamantium, or what it's called, adamantite.
Adamantite.
You know,
Yeah, just get some. Just get the dwarves to make you some grills.
whole grill.
No,
Kind of
no.
dope, actually.
Bear Grylls?
No, like grills, like
Charcoal
like
grills.
the front,
Yeah.
fronts that the rappers put on their teeth that are like made of gold or whatever instead they're adamantite.
I think we all know. It's just we're
Yes,
messing
we
with
know.
Oh, okay.
I know we're white people, but we do know what grills are.
Hey, I don't judge anybody for their lack of knowledge, whether they have knowledge or not.
You can judge me all you want. I don't really care.
I like somebody. I like how somebody chipped in cold grill, but somebody said cold grill. I don't know who said it.
Lord. Charcoal grill.
Now I kind of want to see someone that has like a grill, but it is actually made of charcoal.
What?
That'd be just poisonous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was like
Well, no, I mean, you can...
Charcoal is not poisonous at all.
No, you can, like, I've had toothpaste before where it had charcoal in it.
yeah, activated charcoal. Yeah.
Charcoal actually gets rid of toxins.
No, I mean, no. Wait, are we talking about the... I thought you meant the grill, like the grill ribs is made
Oh, like
I
a
thought
grill
you
on
meant,
his
like,
teeth,
the
but made of
grill.
charcoal.
No, I thought you
I
meant
don't
like an
know how
actual
you would
grill made
even
out of
do
charcoal.
that.
What, a grill on your teeth made of charcoal?
Yes.
How you would do that, Adrian? Or like how you would do?
How you would make something like that out of charcoal? I don't know how you would do that.
I
The
guess.
type of conversations that we have, you know?
Technically, if we're being real technical, you could just crush the charcoal until it became a diamond, and then you could use it as a grill.
I hope all this made it on the YouTube video.
I hope none of it does.
Absolutely did.
The most non.
Oh no,
Thank you, thank God.
we're
Absolutely
all
did.
ruined forever. Charcoal grills.
Just the most nonsensical straight jacket talk of all time.
Straight jacket talk. Never heard that, but I like it.
Oh my God.
Well, if you didn't think we were all nutballs before, we are most certainly now.
Confirmation. Confirmation. Not a tight screw among the lot of us.
Not a... Nope, never mind. A lot of innuendos there. Just gonna not...
Oh, no.
Sanity level 0.
It's too early to start that stuff.
Jaws.
Wait.
Possible enemy? Maybe odd job, even better.
Yep, and he's got a charcoal grill.
Well, last we had left off, you guys had taken off from the Great Caneth Forge in the once great city of Metrol, now ruined by the mists. Fortunately, I've soared far enough out of them at this point to where you're no longer in the Mournlands, really. You're now just on the outskirts of them. Having retreated away from what Tyrus's familiar reported back as, or Spider reported back as, the Lord of Blades, or something that certainly looked like the Lord of Blades, matching his description almost perfectly. The party quickly retreats away. Smartly, wisely. Bluey is on edge this entire time. His hands gripping the edge of the ship firmly. He stands watchful over the side of the ship, looking back at the Great Canet Forge. With wonderment, curiosity, regret, and sadness, all mixed into the expression that he wears on his face.
Do you think we made the wrong choice, Bluey?
No. But I do not know what lies ahead. For the first time since I was given my new purpose, I feel lost in this journey.
Well, Bluey, welcome to the team then. I don't think any of us quite know exactly where we're going at this point.
Tyrus nods agreement.
But at least you're not alone in being, alone. We'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Do you need to go back to Orgav? To the prince?
I think that is wisest. I would surmise he is in Sharn at the moment. But we should reach out to him and make contact.
Yes, perhaps meet him somewhere a little safer than Sharn, I would think. Since that is a bit of a no-go zone, I would think, for considering our current purpose.
An understatement, if ever there were one.
Well, you have a means of contacting him, do you not?
I do. But after trying him several times, I've gotten no response. And I am beginning to worry. I have reached out as well to another member of the Order. No response from him either.
That's very concerning.
Would they have been together at the time? At where would they have been? In the same space, I suppose.
It is unlikely, but possible, I suppose. Yoren would not have been near the city. Orgev most certainly would have been in it. He was gaining some popularity in the city of Sharn when last I had spoken to him. He had made several good contacts with people among the King's Order. However, he did report to me that the High Chancellor plagued him with issues and torment at every turn, charging his people even some violations and fees when they were gathered out overcrowded in the streets. The Chancellor seemed to be no friend to Orgev, perhaps jealous of the King's favor of him. At least this is what Orgev surmised.
Did they not travel to the land that the King of Zollenberg had set aside for them?
Many of the people had made their home in Sharn at that point, and those that did not have a place indeed did. But Orgev had stayed as sort of an emissary, traveling back and forth between the two places, spending much of his time in Sharn. He is working hard to gain sovereign for his town again, and perhaps some sort of recognition amongst the greater nations. He still does not have their respect, even though he has a title.
Well, I suppose a title only goes so far if there's not much to back it up. Unfortunately, in his case. Well, in any case, are you going to be okay?
I must be. As must we all. And we'll all make sure of that.
One day, for
Right.
sure, we will have to turn around and battle with this creature.
Something tells me we won't decide the day that happens. But on that day, I'll stand next to you, Raktarin.
Rock bows his head.
Bluey seems a little more sure of himself than when he was debating on whether he'd be able to face down the Lord of Blades, were he to spot him in his lair or fortress.
So then should we alert the captain after some more discussion with the rest on perhaps making our way towards...
Making our way.
Well, well, we can't go to Sharn. Let's discuss it with the others. And, excuse me. And I guess everyone would probably be, because we just teleported here, right? This is presumably like immediately after teleporting onto the ship.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the teleportation circle is either on the deck of the ship or on the lower level of the ship, the lowest level of the ship.
I think I had it installed in that that big round area, basically where Belsay beat the shit out of Rock.
Down in the galleys, got it.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of Jesus.
I'm sorry, who bled all over the floor?
There's mutual bleeding.
Oh, it was, but that's kind of Belsay's thing.
He's like, I did it on purpose.
That's convenient. It's convenient that you. Oh, I'm just bleeding for my order. You didn't make me bleed. I chose to bleed.
I like how Belsay has selective memory of how much he was hurt in this fight.
These guys are gonna fight again.
Rematch.
It won't be a fight, but that's okay.
Kiss each other.
Oh, shut
Sorry.
up.
Kiss a Roshi.
Go kiss a Roshi.
Oh.
Why?
Solitude, I mean.
What?
Oh,
Two very different... It's a huge mix-up.
No, Solitude smokes. I said
Oh.
go kiss a Roshi.
Oh my gosh. It makes me bleed my own blood. Oh, that's such a good movie. So instead of going to get everybody, I assume he'll just. Oh no! If we're on the deck, never mind. He goes and gets everybody. If they're not already up here.
Solitude emerges, looking well rested. She is in her casual wear.
Is she well rested? We just got here.
You've only been here for 5 minutes.
You don't know me. You don't know my life.
Yeah, I thought we were all together, like fresh from teleporting back.
Yeah.
She got a good hit on that hookah. She's doing fine. She's in her yoga pants.
Because she's got that new 1-minute short rest feature from the UA.
Oh yeah. I hate to play her.
Hey, there's always that one person that comes home from work and just pants are gone.
I said goose.
I guess she's still in her. She is still in her war garb. You're right. She's in her normal shit. Good.
Why is there a goose?
What, a goose? Where's a goose?
Right next to Belsay.
Oh, hell yeah.
The goose is looking for the engine and wants to fly into the engine.
Oh, no.
Avec
It's never an option.
un cheval. No, that's horse.
It's okay.
Comment se dice goose? En
I think-
français?
I think this is Gan telling us our goose is cooked.
Oh yes, it's foreshadowing.
Oui, Monsieur Belly, say, what is it that you wish? Why have you summoned us to a meeting? And by the way, did you not agree with me that the Cercle de Teleportation was quite the success? Worth the investment?
Yes, it was definitely worth the 10,000 gold pieces. I'm glad to see it used.
We would all be dying at the hands of the Lords of the Blades were it not for your circle. So, merci, Monsieur Bellis.
Welcome. Sorry.
You're okay. I was waiting. I was waiting for the opportune moment, and there's no opportune moment via voice chat with 7 people.
I'm shutting up.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You keep going. Keep going.
No, pourquoi have you summoned us here? I was in the middle of a nice hookah session. But I always have time for you. In the group. Don't everyone speak at once?
Perhaps it is time that we decided on our next destination.
Dipping down from the clouds, soaring on the wind, much like the Skybreaker itself, you see a beautiful great egret. Rare to see a bird this high in the air, a bird of the water at least. And it has something fastened to its beautiful beak. Forgive my goose.
It's a majestic goose.
It's a majestic goose. Exactly. And
It identifies as an egret.
It identifies as a great egret, exactly. It soars down next to the ship, gracefully and gradually dipping closer and closer until it sort of just lands comfortably, casually, not maybe 10 feet away from where Belsay is standing. It looks up. It lets out sort of a caw of acknowledgement and gestures to its nose, kind of by shaking its head. Or beak, by shaking its head. Egrets don't have noses.
Is that a good omen or a bad omen? It seems like a good omen to me.
It has something
good
wrapped on
spelling.
its beak. Says
I
Bree.
don't know if it's
Information.
an omen at all, but a messenger.
I agree.
Oh, I see the note. I see the note on its goose nose. Oui. I shall mage hand it off. She approaches, flicks her little wrist, and her little light-skinned purple mage hand delicately approaches the goose. Allows the goose to sniff the hand to let the goose know it's a friend, and then will delicately take the note off.
The pale ivory parchment is wrapped with a beautiful red ribbon. And at second glance, you notice it's not a ribbon at all, but instead a tiny little braid of hair.
Red hair?
Oh, yes.
Something is there.
Tying it together. Okay. I
Eh.
will. Oh,
As you, I'm sure, are about to say, you're going to open it up and read it.
no. I was gonna mage hand it over to Belsa.
Oh, go ahead.
I delicately hands the parchment over to Monsieur Berisset.
I don't read. I'm just kidding.
You are not a reader?
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. He takes it and unrolls. Wow, my brain. Unrolls the scroll.
As you unroll the
Unfolds the letter.
scroll, you can see that there's equally red handwriting, delicately written cursive, and scrawled out there is greetings. This message is for the Six. Orgev has been imprisoned for conspiring against the King of Sharn. The High Chancellor has tried him without public jury and sentenced him within less than an hour after he was captured by the Sharn Watch. Period. Yorn has also been imprisoned for theft from the Kundarak vaults. Similarly, he was also tried in private by the High Chancellor and sentenced to imprisonment within a day of his capture. They both have been sent to the Chimera Tower, to the south of Breland, on its own island in the Thunder Sea. I fear I am next. The Chancellor is hot on my trail, looking for any reason to put me behind bars. My power is slipping even amongst my own men. Save Orgev and Yoren, bring them back to Sharn, and set things right here, as they have gone horribly awry. Sincerely, Commander Ayana Irtalan.
Just for my own memory, have we met this Yana Irtalan before?
I think you may have seen her briefly the very first session you guys played.
Yeah, she was having an argument with somebody on the bridge as we
Scene
Oh, yeah.
one. Scene
when we first
one.
Yeah.
arrived. She was having
Scene
an
one,
argument
act
with
one.
somebody in the offices, the customs office.
I remember now that you
Yep.
say it.
At the
That was
road.
the
I don't remember what her name was, but I remember the situation, sort of, mostly.
that was the first person Balse and Lyra ever spoke to.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is true.
Literally the first person I think you guys interacted with, and I believe she directed you some guards who then directed you guys to go meet or where the bar was that you guys were meeting Yoren, and they're on and they're on. Mm-hmm.
That's wild. So many moons ago.
Do
Oh.
I have, as a Sharnian, any
Sharnite?
knowledge, A, of the High Chancellor's name / identity, and B, any knowledge of the tower to which Commander Yulana Irtalan referred? The tower Chimera Tower.
May I interject here? We actually do know the High Chancellor's name his name was signed on an order that we saw in that first session.
Yeah, know your lore, bro. Right?
I do not remember what his name was. Personally,
Oh, so you just wanted to scoreboard me on your knowledge of lore, but
no.
still don't really have anything to add to my question.
I just wanted to point that out that there is a lot of callbacks to session 1 today. But yeah, that is a thing that we saw. I just don't remember what the exact name was because I am bad at taking notes.
Cool. Hey, man, if it makes you feel any better, I'm even worse because I don't take notes. I mean, I also
Is
take
everyone
notes.
finished editorializing?
Sorry. Mr. Dungeon Master, sir. What was that name?
I'm trying to go back here and see if I actually ever did get you guys a name for it, because I don't have a name for it. So
Seamus. Seamus.
I have a name in mind now, but if I've given you a name already, which I don't see anywhere in my notes, I'm not sure I have given you a name.
Seems safe to say, even if you had, nobody remembers it. So you're good to fly free, Egret.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't noted in the notes. It just says
Fly
on
free
the way we
egret.
see an argument over a scroll with a royal decree between a bald-headed inspector and a woman with stark red hair, Commander Irchalon.
Okay, there you go.
Nice. Nice.
Very nice.
Upon finishing the reading of this letter, Balse worriedly looks to Bluey to gauge his reaction, as this is his liege lord. Excuse me.
My chancellor's name is Eldred Vallis. He is a vile fellow, says Bluey.
And any knowledge of this Chimera Tower, its nature and such, personally? If not, perhaps I can glean it. But what does native Sharnite and maybe possibly familiar with the prison system, Solitude, know about this?
So there's a couple different kind of punishments that happen in Sharn. By the way, Sharnian that's a gem, and you deserve a medal. But there's a couple different punishments, I think. Like, one of them would be being banished to the cogs. So if you had property in Sharn, you'd lose said property if you did something bad enough and be banished to the cogs. No one really owns anything in the cogs, and there's no real legal jurisdiction in the cogs. So, you know, the powers rules things down there. So those that are banished, they are typically banished for, like, financial crimes. Okay? For worse crimes, like thievery and treason and murder and other terrible things, you'd be sent away to the capital prison, which the Chimera Tower serves as. The Chimera Tower is like a pretty messed up place. It's basically like an Alcatraz. It's a tower out in the middle of the Thundersea. It's extremely difficult to get to because the Thundersea is difficult to navigate from both an aerial perspective as well as a naval perspective.
Are there Dementors there?
There is no Dementors, but the reason it's called the Chimera Tower is because it's guarded by several chimeras. And no one really knows exactly how many. The rumors is that, you know, there's tens of 20s of, perhaps even 30s of chimeras now that they've breeded and been left to breed out there in the middle of the sea with plenty to eat out there in the ocean. Or out there in the sea, I should say.
Shit.
But that also could be considered fallacy. You know that there's rumors that there's only as many as 3, and that it's not a very well fortified prison in terms of guards. From the perspective of those that get sent there are typically getting sent there because they did something terribly wrong in their line of duty and have now been, sentenced to the lowest of the low, guarding the Chimera Towers far away from their families and loved ones. There is also one other hermit that you know to live out there. Was once a great sky racer, but unfortunately gained the favor of the then queen, and was sent away, beaten pretty severely by some guards beforehand, kind of messing up his very handsome-looking face forever, and leaving him with a permanent limp.
Cool. What's this guy's name?
This fellow's name is Bogue. And
Bogue.
he's basically in charge of the entire tower. He runs it top to bottom and even has a relationship with the Chimeras due to his extreme animal handling abilities, as well as the belief that he is part Chimera himself.
Oh, that's interesting.
I like this guy.
He is a tiefling, after all. He has some beast in him.
Subtle.
Okay. I was having such a hard time for some reason remembering what the hell a chimera was. I had to look it up real quick. I was like, oh yeah, these things.
They're awesome.
I don't know if I've ever fought one in a D&D game before. Or seen one.
Well, you gonna get to today.
I wonder if we were to obviously liberate Mr. Olgev and Mr. Iglanda and simply transported them back to the Shan, would we not take them out of the frying pan and into the fire? We do not know much about the situation in Shan, except that they were captured there and taken to the prison. If we do free them,
What are they charged with?
perhaps.
Do people often hire you to break into prisons and vaults? Says Bluey with a smile on his face.
They hire me to get into places most difficult.
Well, before we go breaking into any particular prisons,
Yes.
perhaps first we should figure out whether there's a way to absolve him of these supposed crimes.
Salted looks utterly bored by that comment.
I'm inclined to agree. If we break them out of prison, then the prince will never have claim to any title. He will always be a fugitive.
The fleeing man is guiltiest.
True.
Please, this chancellor, though, is obviously corrupt. He is one of the ones in league with the Dark Six, oui?
Right, but what power do we have beyond strength of arm to make such sway?
Meta question. Sorry. Did Orochi told us that he encountered a Rakshasa at the egg place, right?
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
Oh shit. Never mind, I'm not going to keep my ideas to myself.
No, I think you came to the same conclusion that I have come to, and that's why I asked this question. But we wouldn't necessarily know that that's a possibility yet, so Rock can't come to this conclusion.
Nope, Belsa is just not smart enough to come to this conclusion.
At any rate.
Well, I mean, that's not. You still know that they have affiliation with the Dark Six, and you still would know that they can transform into people. It's not a crazy leap in logic.
Okay, I just wanted to know if, well, is it possible? The Rakshasas had a portal open when we arrived. Is it possible? Is it probable that they've gone and replaced people in time?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's more that they've always replaced people, and it's only now that we are aware of that possibility. It could be that people we've known for years, associated with, went to battle with, were actually Rakshasa.
But you killed Kabut so easily previously.
That was the most likely mountain, not a Rakshasa, Monsieur Rock.
But what changed?
That portal.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know what we're talking about. I have lost the lead. I think Mr. Chancellor guy might be a Rakshasa.
Okay, you're sitting in meta. Okay, good.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
good.
that. I don't know if Rock would be able to get to that conclusion, but I think that's the case. And if that's the case,
But Orochi is making that possibility. He's saying that that could be a possibility.
that everyone was always a Rakshasa.
There are certain people that could have been Rakshasa this whole time. So it's he's saying that it's possible that the Chancellor could be a Rakshasa.
Okay.
Can I pause this conversation real quick and ask Adrian, is this stirring up anything from the stuff that I sent you? And if not, I'm going to send you a highlighted version of what I sent you.
Ooh, don't you dare make the Dungeon Master highlight.
No.
Dare,
I sent her a wall of knowledge.
You sent me a lot.
A wall of knowledge.
Wait.
So if this is not stirring up anything for you, let me send you just a brief, short version of it. And pause the stream.
So much. I'm looking at it again. I'm like, wait, what are they?
Search, do Control F for RAK. RAK.
Oh my! It would just highlight the whole thing. You don't. No.
I'm so glad I'm not at the point where my wall of text is relevant, because woof, that does not sound fun.
Everybody's gonna get there, I think, at some point.
Wall of text coming to you soon from your local dungeon.
Oh, that's what level spell is that? I know Wall of Fire is level 4. Wall of Ice is level 6. What's Wall of Text?
Wall of Text is a first level spell, but it always critically strikes.
And it involves that your character loses
Critical hit.
turns.
Critical hit.
Yeah.
And
it automatically breaks concentration.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Automatic.
Each letter does 1 point of slashing damage when you walk through it. You can, depending on.
You have to read the Wall of Text before you can walk through it, which delays you. Like you're stuck. You can't get through it.
I regret everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So Orochi says to Rock, just continue his point. He says, with the knowledge that we have now of the Rakshasa's involvement in every level or in certain levels of Corvair's affairs, we can't rule anything out with these lot.
Well, I don't know that she's sat and read anything yet. Anyway, either.
Good point.
At this point in time,
We just got back to the ship, but still.
Good point. Yeah, I'm playing Orochi as if he's never read anything either.
ever?
Yeah.
Oof, that sucks. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't. Does it matter if it is a Rakshasa or not? Most likely, the Chancellor is an enemy of us. Therefore, I do not know if we rescue these individuals, if we can take them to Shang, which is under his jurisdiction.
If we can expose him, perhaps we can undo false accusations.
Would be most sweet.
If we can attack his credibility and make him unsuitable to levy such judgments, then maybe the sentence will be thrown out.
I
Imagine
could
exposing him.
I could ask my network of the House Talk Canon. Perhaps they can dig up some dirt, so to speak, on him. I do not know if we can rely on that as a failsafe, but it is an option. Perhaps a head start.
Rock flinches when houses are mentioned.
So meta is
Your
not a house.
intel has
I know, but Rock would flinch.
Okay, all right.
Your intel has proven useful thus far. I don't see why we should doubt it now.
They're
I can
all
reach out. Wait, serious?
certainly a plausible theory.
Well, perhaps a month we land near the Shan. I sneak in through the cogs and make a contact. Begin getting the little spies spying. Gain what information we can on the Chancellor.
You know, we did just come into a rather large sum of some valuable ore. Perhaps we could buy his freedom.
I also consider that possibility, but if the Rakshas are involved, they would not be pleased with this resolution. They don't need money, therefore they would need ours. That's if they're involved in.
Food for thought.
Do we attempt to expose the Chancellor first? Thereby perhaps freeing all of those who he has imprisoned wrongfully? Or do we go right for the throats and do the prison break? Thereby secreting our friends elsewhere while we expose the Chancellor for his crime.
Well, I think that depends. Do we need them in order to expose the Chancellor?
Not necessarily. It's one of those situations where we do one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think so too.
both
What
sound
sort of
so exquisite pour moi. I am neutral.
what sort of place is this prison? Are they likely to be sentenced to something in short time? Are they just being held there?
Is it a
It,
death
is
sentence?
it right? Is it time sensitive that we get them out one way or the other?
I can imagine them taking the prince all the way to such a remote location just to execute him. I think they want him to be there for a long, long time, which means we have time to prove his innocence.
Makes sense.
Solitude, I think your suggestion is as good as any. Maybe if we get in touch with your contacts, we can at least get a lead, somewhere to start from.
We get the ball rolling, so to speak, on the intelligence in Sean.
Yes.
Then my organization can easily hide these individuals away while we bring the Chancellor to justice.
That isn't needed. If we hide them away and word gets out of that, then our case will be that much harder. You can't break someone out of jail and then prove they're innocent.
Then what do you recommend we do? And
Just
he's not saying that to you specifically, just kind of in general, looking around to the brainiacs of the group, which is most everybody else.
I don't think the prince would want to spend his days running.
I believe that we must break them out there sooner rather than later. If they are a true enemy of the Dark Sikhs and the Rakshasa, I have concerns that they should meet an untimely end in this tower. This chancellor appears to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Hmm.
If we
I
break
don't
them
think-
out, then it is. Were you curious?
I don't think Prince Orgav would want to spend his days running and hiding. He wants to serve his people. I think he would be willing to wait if there was a possibility that he could do that.
And
I
if the
agree. And if he's, go ahead. Sorry.
Blue is just going to say, and if the Chancellor has such power that he can try and sentence a free man to jail within a day's time or an hour's time, then things truly are or have run afoul in Sharn.
I agree. And with that sentiment, I don't think that you're alone in this opinion. Surely there are others who think that he's overreaching his power.
It would appear the commander agrees with us, if no one else.
That is a strong ally to have on our side.
Bluey nods.
Gan,
Mhm.
just out of curiosity, like, even if you're not from Sharn and from, that country in general, kind of like how we might have knowledge of like Stalin was a pretty bad guy. None of us are from Russia, but he was a pretty bad guy, right? And everyone kind of knows that. Is this one of those situations where it's like everyone knows this Chancellor dude is kind of a shithead, but he's got too much power for anyone to really do anything about? Or does this seem kind of like, from just a general knowledge perspective, out of character?
I'm gonna say it depends on where you're from, and because you're from Undair, and you're not from Breland, you have an outsider's perspective to this. And an outsider's perspective to Stalin is going to be much different than an American's perspective to Stalin. Because in Russia, I mean, there's a statue of Stalin that still stands in Russia. It's called Stalingrad. Because
I feel like
he to those people did some great things and helped. I think he came from poor people, so he resonated a lot with poor people when he got into power. But like any leader, there's going to be people that support and people that don't. And the outsiders, they typically have the least amount of knowledge about. But sometimes that could be the best, because all of the knowledge that's coming from the inside countries, like Breland, about these leaders, it's sometimes so much that you don't know what to believe, right? But from an Undarian, from Passage's perspective, I'd say Velsay probably thinks, not someone I'd vote for. But that's about that's about the extent of your opinion on this guy, or what you might have heard about him. You haven't heard that Sharn's government has been in the pits or anything like that, outside of these recent legal proceedings that seem to have gone terribly awry.
Is he like the prime minister to the king? Or is he
The High Chancellor?
like,
he is basically the person who's supposed to handle the king's court, and the king is ultimately the one who makes rulings, and typically it's with an open jury as well. So, kind of how the structure works is the jury will have its say. They'll deliberate to the High Chancellor. The High Chancellor will give this information to the king. And then the king ultimately will give a decision through the High Chancellor. But as of recent, the king hasn't even been in court. Simply the High Chancellor.
Hey, you said Now, will that fact be common knowledge that the king hasn't been in court, or that, like, again, an insider's perspective?
I think from the perspective of those that have lived in Sharn, and even those outside that may have some knowledge about law and government, you guys would know from kind of what I said about this guy making rulings of his own without a public jury. That's very weird, and that things are not happening the way they should be. So you would know, I think, that the king would not be present for those proceedings. And I think, in that sense, yes, it would be public knowledge.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it makes a difference.
Who knew this would turn into a legal drama?
John,
Yeah, John,
I was going
John.
to say, I need to consult John.
All right, so if the decision is not to go straight for the breakouts as the prison, then we land some distance from Sean until the cogs. I work my connections. I am not saying I can get you all invited into the mansion of the leader of Austarkanen, but I can certainly begin getting the ball rolling on the investigation, and perhaps even gain information about how to access the Chancellor's quarters or those close to him. So we could begin a direct approach of exposing the Chancellor ourselves.
Perhaps we can ask the commander to meet us in the cogs
Yes.
or somewhere outside the city.
We're the combination of the military and the Austarkanen, and we have connections with other organizations. Would be a very force most formidable, I would submit. She was quite confident. Perhaps a reunion of my old group is in order, the rafters. Are we in agreement?
I must agree with the majority, but I am wary of entering Sharn.
Going into Sharn with our intentions as they are, I think is a fairly dangerous venture. What, just so I'm clear,
Leslie?
what's the point? What are we doing? What exactly would be the reason to go to Sharn?
Okay.
To clear Orgev's
Gan question. I don't know how much you'd let me exploit my criminal background. Hold on. Features and traits. Fuck, where'd it go?
I also have a question.
Then you go.
My question is, you guys are criminals at Sharn, and I think someone pointed out that going back there would be a bad idea. I am wondering at what point that course of logic changed. Is it when we heard that Orgev was imprisoned?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I think that it's wise to maybe try and to do what you're saying and clear his name. I think you're gonna need him to do it, and I don't really know how to convey that better than saying it.
Well, I have a bridge here, I think. Rock will cast sending to Orgev.
I think we already tried that, didn't we?
Yeah, through
No,
Bluey.
we haven't. Oh,
Oh.
Bluey has. Okay. Do you remember the Chancellor? Can you contact her? Not the Chancellor, the Commander. Sorry, wrong word. Wrong C word.
Yes, I think so. I will attempt to sending the commander and I will ask her about order of operations. Do we think that obtaining Orgev and his help is the first order of business before we attempt to return to Sharn? I assume she'll tell us yes. In that case.
Let's see here. Well, it's spelled out in the letter. But
Okay. Or perhaps she could give us some what's the word I'm looking for here?
Oh, look, we have the letter typed down.
Some clues of some sort that we might use to infiltrate said prison? Any kind of like advice of that nature?
Well, excuse me, Raktaran, Lyra. No, fucking shit balls. I'm getting all the names mixed up. Raktaran and Tiris. Damn it. You're well read. What do you know about Chimera?
What do we know about Chimera?
That's a Raktaran question. You're the
That is,
animal beast
I am
person.
the nature guy. Kind of check what I have to do to know things about
To know things.
Yeah.
I want to do a no stuff check. What's the no stuff check?
I'd like to do a drink and no stuff check.
Let's do it. Let's do
yeah.
it.
Ooh.
Let's do a nature check for that.
You got it, Chief. That is a 24.
Strong roll. A strong roll.
Yeah, we call it a Tyrion check.
I roll to know stuff.
You would know that chimeras are a combination of dragon, goat, and lion, and are three-headed creatures. They are winged creatures, and they have the ability to breathe fire.
Fire?
Only
Okay.
thing more vicious than their claws is their horns and their teeth.
Any food preferences on a 24?
They like meaty creatures.
Ah.
And lobster bisque.
What? That specifically,
And
Steve?
pimento cheese.
Everyone, that doesn't narrow it down. Everyone likes lobster bisque. That does not narrow it down at all.
I don't think I've ever had lobster bisque. I would eat it though. I like lobster.
I'm gonna ditto on
I
that,
like
but
soup.
I'm actually not sure if I'm allergic because I'm allergic to clams.
Oh man, you guys stay away from it
Ooh.
then.
Yeah.
Maybe just a small bite for you, Malcolm.
I'm sorry. I'm such a distracting factor today. I'm just off today. I apologize.
Lobster
Focus
bisques.
back in. We're gonna focus back in.
All right,
Okay.
we'll reel it in. That's what you know about chimera.
Gotcha.
They're rather large, and they're
Mhm.
extremely powerful, and they're pretty durable.
Cool. Noted.
You also see in the
Can I
dark.
see the letter, Belce? And I assume Belce hands her the letter. She asks for it. It does
Go
say
on,
that she
give her the letter, Belce. Don't be so
You're
stingy
muted.
with the
Steve.
documentation. Monsieur
He
Belly
walked
say.
away.
He is
He
being very
walked
stingy
away.
with the documentation. Yeah, I shall bring it to you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I grab it from Belce and hand it to Tiris.
I have another
It does
meta question.
say. All right.
Do we have a general idea where this prison exists, and can we direct ourselves there post haste?
Also spelled out in the letter. They have both been sent to the Chimera Tower to the south of Breland on its own island in the Thunder Sea.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Read your notes, bro.
It's been a
Read
long
your
day.
notes, bro.
It's been a long
typed
day.
out in
Sorry.
notes.
Sorry,
Notes.
it's been a long day.
I just realized that it was there.
So
Yeah, I'm just typing for nothing here. Just kidding. Love you guys.
Commander Ilana does recommend that we break them out and bring them back to Sharn.
I'm changing her beautiful cursive handwriting to terrible, hard to read handwriting.
I suppose then the thing to do would be to set course and away.
And
We're terrible,
and
you guys. We're awful.
No, I have a question for
Just
Gan.
putting that out there.
Planning.
Deeply, horribly.
It is our nature.
Come again.
What?
I wanted to know if I could use my criminal contact feature, which says that I know how to get messages to and from my contact, even over great distances.
Yeah.
If I can even somehow do that over an airship, to use my network to get in touch with this captain of the guard and let her know that we're planning on busting out these two individuals and that we will bring them to a certain rendezvous point, whereupon, we will expose the Chancellor. Is that taking way too much leeway? That sounds like a very strong use of the background. So feel free to veto any of it.
I feel like it's a pretty apropos use of the background, though I don't know if your network would stretch to Commander Ayana, as they don't really have a link.
Oh, she's not my network. No, but
right.
I could use my
get to her.
Exactly,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That much, yes, I think you could attempt to do.
All right, then I would like to do that.
How quick that will be in terms of relaying a message, though? Can you help me with that, you think? Because I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't mean to be an over or pot stirrer or a scene stealer here, but we could just cast sending to her. I feel like that's instant rather than.
Didn't you try that?
No, we haven't done that yet.
All right. Try it.
I will attempt to spend a third level spell slot to cast sending to Commander Irtalan.
All right, you've now spent that spell slot.
Yes.
It does not work. You get no response back from Commander Ayana Irtalan.
Understood.
And hopefully that is not useless to you.
Yeah. Any response, Rock?
None. And that worries me.
But
perhaps we should make post-haste.
I will reach out to my contacts. I believe I can stir the pot in Sharn sufficiently to at least give us a welcoming party for our refugees once we have liberated them from this prison. So I'm setting up, Gan. I'm going to set up... Oh, this is so perfect. I'm setting up advance notice to House Tarkanen. Try to alert the captain of the guard. We will be bringing our two refugees to the Silver Mist Theater.
Sick.
If and when we capture them.
I got some work to do. Silver Mist Theater construction this weekend.
Lower Dura. Home of the Rafters. Which none of you know about, so that's meta knowledge.
It's real convenient that the Silver Mist Theater happens to look exactly like a certain casino that was set up so long ago. Wow. Isn't that just so crazy? Gan, your forethought is amazing that you don't have
Why are
to
there a bunch of reptiles, and why is there an egg in this theater? This makes no sense.
Wow. Gan, look at that. You don't have to spend a weekend building something.
Oh, snap. That was the best idea ever. And, yep, the Silver Mist Theater is fully constructed already. All right.
Construction weekend canceled.
Got you, fam.
I hope you guys have your coins ready for some slot machines.
Pachinko in the lobby.
I don't know what's happening
anymore. I'm taking a short rest because I got to regain a spell slot.
I was just trying to save Gan having to build a whole new map.
Well, do we know how long the trip is to this prison?
Yeah, that's what I'm actually pulling up. Just trying to get the Eberron map.
Let's see here. Let me get you guys some
Yeah.
good perspective here. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh,
Got my John Acadian
Greenland.
interactive map. So right now, where you guys are at, you're like 2,000 miles. 2,170 if you want to get real mathy about it.
No, no.
Oh, shit.
No. It's told there be no math.
Prerequisites, no math. Ooh, which is a pretty long way. It's about a week's worth of travel with stops included.
If we if we teleport, I don't know where where Zendrick or Zantash is. Is the teleportation circle there? Does that speed us up?
I don't think so, because then
Cendric
you'd
is a
be on
whole other
foot.
continent.
Yeah, you'd be on foot from those places, and that would not be a good situation for you.
Can we stuff the Siberia swords into the engines of these craft and make it go the turbo boost forward?
If you
Would
go
be a
anywhere near
terrible
the
way.
engine, Solitude, I'll stuff you in one of them.
Maybe things will go faster. But I understand your drift. Well, please put the full speed ahead on the engines then, monsieur.
You do
We have
feel
business to attend to.
you do feel the Skybreaker speed up a little bit as Shiro takes heed to your command.
Merci, Shiro.
So I missed it in the commotion. Trip time?
A week.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Can we make a stop?
I would say
Offer
multiple,
Juji fruit.
probably multiple stops. A Juji fruit.
You stop off for Juji fruit.
I just pop off. That's what it say.
What kind of spells do you think we'll need for a prison break, Tears?
Mm.
Some spells out of those new spell books.
I cannot learn anything out of those spell books. My spell selection is still very weak. I am more a sword guy than a magic guy. Ironically.
Sounds more like a Tali question.
If we want to move this product, we should do it before we arrive near Sean. It could be commandeered by the local authorities.
Frankly, if they haven't stopped us from constructing a Warforged on board, I doubt that they'll stop us with the load of adamantite.
All right, I want to sell it quickly though. I need to convert it into cold hard cash. This ore is useless. All right, so we make a post haste to the tower. I am a fan of dropping from above. Invisible. For the falling.
Can we make the entire ship invisible? Because Chimera fly.
But they do not fly up as far as our ship will be. If they do, they will meet a most unfortunate end. I think we fly far enough above that we can simply leap out invisibly, let the feather falling happen, and a light on the tower.
They must get supplies out to the tower somehow. Perhaps we can commandeer that transport.
And we get
I
into
feel like
the
news
tower.
of such an commandeerment might get back to Sharn easily. For better or for worse, Paris, I think I agree with Solitude on this one.
Merci, Michel.
Just giving options.
If I am going to go out, I want to go out flying from the air, trying to do a dramatic prison break, not in the underwear shipment of future prisoners. No offense, Tyrius.
I was just giving a suggestion. It's fine.
You're the best, you're beautiful, you're smart, your future person is even cool too, it is fine. I understand.
I once heard a tale about a sea captain who was surrounded by pirates, and all he had left aboard his ship, being stranded at sea, was an alchemist and 2 shipmates. The alchemist made a transmutation potion. Together they all drank from it. The potion turned them into sharks. Great white sharks. They went about eating all of the boats, sailors and pirates that were sure to invade and loot their ship. And from the wreckage, they repaired their ship and went back on their way home. Tell the great tale to those that lie waiting for them at the docks. A funny story, I thought when I heard it. But it has given me an idea, says Bluey. Were we to acquire or make such a potion, could we not attack from the waters? Disguised, at least for a short time. Even to gain access to the Great Tower?
Oui. An assault aquatique sounds most efficient.
We can certainly create such potions. We have access to magic that can do that. Yeah.
I must admit that's quite clever, Bluey.
Captain Shiro, the ship has to land every day for the fire elemental to rest. Is the trip out to the tower one that will be able to make? Or is traversing the sea not something that this vessel is capable of? Is it too
Never
far
flown
for
out
them?
that far, but have to say, always wanted to try.
Is she seaworthy?
Well, suppose we'll find out. The Thunder Sea is full of torment. Many that have flown out into the deep waters have never returned home. But the Skybreaker has yet to fall and break.
Oof.
Do we think that? I think in order to fight flying creatures, I could use a weapon with a little bit more range, and he pats his swords.
Are you not a spellcaster, Michel?
Not primarily.
If it is range you want, it is range I got. I do not know what can assist you with. Michel Bluey, is the tower have an entrance from the ground level? That is why I was thinking of an assault aerial. But if you know that the tower has a means of ingress and egress at the bottom level, I am all ears. for this plan?
I know not of the tower, only of the rumors that it is guarded by many chimera.
Going by sea might allow us to avoid the chimeras. Zolenberg is somewhat on the way. I remember there was a fairly decent potion shop there.
Oh, Stollenberg is a
Hmm.
municipality most wealthy. We could.
Somewhere where a
Have
city where
a
we would actually be welcome.
oui, and the situation most profitable there. Oui, that's a great
Okay,
idea,
so
Tirius.
first stop Zolenberg. I think.
It's still a good bit out.
The perfect spot to
Yeah.
cash in our chips.
All right. Let's start there. Everybody amenable to that?
Tirius, what kind of potions should we seek out there? A polymorph?
Probably.
Oui.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, there are also spells that let you breathe underwater,
Walk on water?
walk on water,
We would not be the
fly.
sharks then. We would be standing out.
Now we're talking, says Bluey.
Control the water, control the winds.
Oui. And Monsieur Bluey, there is an entrance at the bottom level of the tower.
Solitude, I have no knowledge of the tower. Why do you keep asking me questions of it?
Well, if we are going to go as a shark, then there needs to be an entrance at the bottom of the tower.
I imagine there has to be an entrance at the bottom of the tower for the people to get in.
If I was making a prison, I would not have an entrance at the bottom of a tower for my prison.
How would you get the prisoners into the prison then?
Magic.
It's the best answer ever.
Magic.
He got you there.
I mean, yeah.
Teleportation circle? Seems expensive.
Yeah, I feel like it's infinitely more expensive than just putting in a door.
Oh, oui, by all means, please walk into my tower. Please free the prisoners. Yes, it's right here. Just come as sharks and walk right in.
I think the chimeras are supposed to make that hard.
All right. Well, Monsieur Bluey, do not get mad at me for asking a simple question, Monsieur.
I am not mad at you, but you have asked me several times, and I told you I have no knowledge of the tower.
Captain Shiro, bearing for Zolenberg.
Gan, I was not arrested in that tower.
No?
Okay.
I don't know why or when you would be. You got arrested?
Yes, that's in my backstory.
No, you weren't sent to this tower when you got arrested?
Okay.
No.
Not serious enough. Okay, got it.
No.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
No, remember murder, treason.
Okay, yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Didn't do that. You mentioned some other crimes though that would have fit.
Thievery?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like grand larceny. I mean, like
you're
Grand Theft Auto. You're taking lots of
stealing.
yeah.
Solitude, you're not special enough for Chimera Tower.
No. And you were young.
Man.
You were young.
I was young.
Ruin
I was
your
young.
whole
Why
life
did
and
it
send you to Chimera Tower? God.
I stole a submarine. I don't know.
All right. You could be from Chimera Tower if you want to be.
Yeah, John, know your backstory, bro.
Are you trying to get tower schematics? Is that what you're trying to get?
Perhaps. Maybe I'm just trying to do a little homage to The Rock, the movie with Sean Connery, and maybe I was there. But
Knowing about Bogue, you'd probably start with Bogue if you wanted to get information about the tower.
He's the guard. He's like with the bad guys, right?
He's been sent there to, he's basically been, what's that, marooned? No, this is a better word. What happened to Napoleon? He got,
Banished.
Exiled.
yeah, both of
Exiled,
those
yeah,
worlds,
yeah.
but it's an even cooler word. Damn it. Can't think of it.
Oh shoot. Yeah, there's like a fancy word for it.
Shanghai?
No, I don't think that's it.
That's racist. That's probably racist. Sorry.
Exiled is what we're gonna go with. Yeah, he got exiled to this prison. So maybe it's not a task that he enjoys and loves doing. Maybe he's the guy that would be the guy to talk to about getting Orgev out.
Actually, at the store by then. Let's just go.
He was
Let's just go with sharks.
extradited.
If not
that's
those
a good one.
extradited, there you go. If not those things, then maybe even like he has some information that he can give you about how perhaps to free someone without anybody knowing about it for a small set of coin. I think there were some bribery ideas suggested out there. Those aren't bad ideas. All those are good ideas.
I think the shark approach is better than the death from above approach because that requires coordinating invisibility with Featherfall, and that sounds like a dubious situation at best.
I can tell you the Chimera definitely, they're going to be strongest from an aerial perspective. Do you want to be on the airship? Probably not.
I think sharking it up is better. And we just deal with the door situation when we get there. We can be flexible. We can be most flexible from there, but in assault aquatique, probably better than the coordination of Featherfall and the invisible. Oui?
Frankly, you all have at least one more prison break under your belts than I do.
I am for it. The shark attack is not only effective but also stylish. I shall enjoy it most certainly not. As well as cashing in the chips at the Zollenberg. This is it's all coming together. Hmm?
I feel like if devices that you create play an integral role in the prison break, you deserve credit for being a part of the prison break.
Absolutely.
Really, I did not know you had such a criminal mind to you. You are a rascal, we. She kind of walks up and saunters around him, kind of puts her finger under his chin, and
I was talking about tears.
Sure.
I know, I'm talking to Bluey.
Oh, okay, my bad. I don't have a criminal mind, Solitude. I just have a mind, and I've spent enough time with criminals. He smiles.
Well, if you ever get bored of being the good guy, we may be opening or two for you in Alstar Conan.
I do not believe any house would have a Warforged as a member.
Why does everyone keep saying it is a... My organization is not a true house. We call ourselves a house to make fun of the houses.
Really? Says Bluey, rather intrigued by this.
Oui. House Top Conan is named after an individual who battled versus the houses. We were an enemy to the houses. The houses sought, because they all have a single dragon mark, they viewed my people and my kind as a threat.
It sounds as though the members of House Tarkanin and the Warforged have much in common.
Again, we have a spot open for you, Monsieur Bluey. But that is a situation for another time. Orochi, what do you think? How do you feel about this plan?
Yes, I believe approach from the sea is best. And I do too admire your mind, Bluey. I would have never thought of that.
Bluey just nods his head to Orochi. At that moment, Anko comes up from the lower deck and sort of lightly tugs at Orochi's left sleeve. Master.
Yes, Anko. Strange to see you about these quarters.
He looks around, looking up at the sun, squinting a little bit. Yes, I've been busy. I believe the items you procured from the Great Kenneth Forge will greatly expedite my process. Thank you for bringing them to me.
Well. Oh, well. Well, what helps you helps me also, so.
I expect this should expedite my completion of our little project.
Excellent. It would seem time is of the essence nowadays. The sooner we finish this work, the better.
I am to our quarters then. He nods at you and returns back down into the basement without further word.
Such a useful fellow, isn't he? A bit of a sourpuss in a party, but he has his uses.
I'm glad your project is going well. We have quite a long trip ahead of us. If you need assistance, I'm available as well.
Excellent. I might actually take you up on that.
And she just nods.
Bluey asks Tyrus if he can look over some of those texts that she recovered.
Of course. Just starts pulling stuff out of the bag. Anything in particular?
He eyes the text about the overlords and
Nod.
reaches for it, grasps at it. May I borrow this one?
Of course. I have no idea what language that book is in. Are you able to read that text? I don't know what language it's in.
He flips it open and nods.
Let me know if you find anything interesting.
Of course.
Suppose I just start reviewing the rest. Lyra and Rotaran. And she takes out some books and starts handing them out. Any interest?
Anything on religion?
Hmm.
Animals? Nature? Flora?
The book. She hands you the book that Woodrose gave her, which is bound in animal hide. This might be nature in nature.
That book's awesome, by the way.
Nice. That's definitely something Rock would read.
Um,
I want to say as you open that book to Rock, you hear the faint sound of a steel drum.
Oh my.
Well, if we are done planning, I think I'll take my leave.
Of course.
And yeah, Orochi will turn and go back to the room.
This seems to be a review of the Age of Demons and the Dragon Fiend Wars. Laren?
I will help look through these.
I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, jeez.
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm. I still don't know what you said, though.
I said I can help you look through all these books if you need.
Right?
Well, perhaps not all, but some.
Sure.
Takes his cookbook and goes down to read for a while. More out of curiosity than anything else.
And I guess we could do that on the way to Zolenberg.
Sure. Sounds right to me.
At some point, while she's reading and studying, she's, of course, taking notes and scribbling things out in her little notebook. But at some point, she just kind of stops, and her face turns pale, and she puts her notes down and she walks off to the edge of the deck, just for a few minutes. But she leaves everything behind, so it's all sitting there.
Is Tears alright? Laren will get up and follow. Because that's not like Tears to just get up like that.
Hmm.
Taking a break.
Tears,
Hmm.
are you alright?
Tired. A lot of reading.
What is it really?
I said I'm tired, Laren. I'm alright.
If you decide that it might be more, you have an open ear. And she'll walk back, look back, and then continue to walk.
Is anybody being nosy and looking at her notes that she left behind?
Be
Nope.
nosy.
I'll
Unfortunately,
be
I'm not
nosy.
there.
Screw it, I'll be nosy. I was doing some ballet stretches and I saw that shit and I'm like, I'll be nosy.
The last,
Gotta do your
the
best.
last bit of her notes that she leaves left sort of unfinished say something along the lines of defeating the Rakshasa, destroying the demon glass, and in increasingly less and less tidy handwriting, return to Ashtakala.
Ooh.
Oh,
Tyrus,
shit.
can you type that out to me via direct message since I'm the only one who knows that shit? At your leisure.
Oh, no problem.
Merci. I'll take. So I just glance at those notes. So I'll flip. So carry casually. I'll flip one more page to make sure I've caught all of it. And then do a nice lunge stretch to try to play it off like I wasn't looking at your notes. Arms up and back, and then continue sauntering about the deck of the ship, or wherever you were. She thinks to herself, I could return to Ashtakala too. Interessante. Now, who do we think is the best one with the money in the party?
Rock.
Like, yeah,
Who, me? What? Huh?
the best with
You're the
money.
least, you're the least likely to spend it on something ridiculous. Or Liren. Liren is
So,
great at finding bargains and useful items.
I'm wondering who thinks what we can get from these ore. I think I may be the best at actually the transaction, but accounting for it, estimating the value. Perhaps someone else. Michel Rock, Miss Liron.
I think we should figure that out once we have the money, once we reach Zolmenberg.
All right, I shall. Does everyone trust me to market this to the king? He always had a thing for me. I got the biggest room after all. Perhaps I can get the most bang for the buck. Is that a word you use around here?
It's a good point. I trust you with
Right.
I
solitude.
certainly won't be negotiating.
All right, merci. I shall transact the business, and then Michel Rock, if you come with me to be my counter of the coin, make sure I am not being ripped off.
If that works.
You are good at the mathematique, n'est-ce pas? All right. I shall do the group proud. I will not stop until I have exacted every cent from that poor, unsuspecting king.
Good idea, solitude.
Oh, I'm kidding. I will not. I will not make him feel bad about it. But I will. I will do my best to get a good bargain. Liron, do you want to come with me?
I can do that.
All
If you
right.
would like someone to accompany you.
Certainly. I think between the two of us, does not stand a chance. I'm sorry. I am getting too ahead of myself. But I figure we make a good team.
I believe so.
Oh, and then the rest of the group could perhaps purchase the transfiguration potions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing like a split of the party to liven things up.
I thought we weren't doing that anymore.
It's Zolenberg. What could possibly happen?
Never say that. That's what we thought in Korth. That's what we thought in the other place.
Carlton?
Yes.
Keep your stones
No.
in hand, then, and we'll be all right. Communicate if anything happens.
Oui, Monsieur Belisay, you will go with the other group?
I have
Or with
no
avec
real
moi?
no real need to go any one which way or the other. I will go with whomever feels they need me the most.
If you are apart from moi, then we have a communication bridge between the two groups.
Then I shall go with them.
And if Mr. Rock is with us, we have someone competent in the combat arts.
Works for
Solitude.
me.
Did you know the Vistas had a lover?
But, excusez-moi?
This name here, Dral Couture? Sound familiar to you at all?
Thrall Couture? No, merci. I do not. I do not know of this name. Could you? I would like to take it down in my book of the shadows. How do you say it?
I assume that the books have all been passed around at this point in time. This was the one that Bluey was looking at earlier.
I did not read. I did not read the book. I read the
Yeah.
Tusk Glove and the Dragon Horde. Those are the books that I read, and I had to fight through the demonic language book. I am finished with the books of the education.
You hear
You should
a golf
buy
clap
an,
from somewhere.
perhaps you should buy an item that will let you read in other languages. Anyway, Dral Couture, Relentless Cold, Winter, Fear of Frost, blah blah blah. Mortal Fear of Winter, so forth. No
Was
known
she
followers
a?
among the Lord of Dust. No affinity with the Rakshasa. Secret lover Levistus yearn to be together again.
Was she a human? A elf?
It's one of the overlords.
Oh, another overlord.
Mm-hmm.
At least my master can get a girlfriend. I'm sure that ass Asmodeus would never pull a
That
woman.
wasn't quite what.
I know, Julius.
Never mind.
I do not know of her. I do not know if do I know of her, Gannicus? Ever heard of this individual before?
No. Never.
Yeah, she's like her face is rather like you can roll inside or whatever, but she's drawing a blank. This is news to her.
Hmm.
Where did you get this information? Is it from one of your books in the library?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hmm. Well, please, if you find any more information on my master, pass it
Uh,
on.
there
It is
wasn't
a
much. There wasn't much more that doesn't seem already known. Perhaps he went by another name at some point, but that's about all.
it is a strange position that I am in. When you have a relationship so close, you do not bother with books or what other people have to say. You can get it from the source.
Perhaps you should ask.
I'll ask him. Goodness, I suppose I could. She looks like that thought never would have crossed her mind, but that she's trying to digest the thought.
You
It's
did
like
say
there's
you can go
definite.
straight to the source. Isn't that what you meant?
We. I don't want to be. How would you say? I would not to presume to ask about a lover. I don't want to
Mm.
offend him, but Perhaps I have enough equity built up to ask such a question. She is an overlord?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, Tilius, I shall ask, and I shall ask either before or after we arrive in Zolenberg, but before we get to the destination. Thank you for that. I appreciate you entrusting me with that.
Hopefully it's helpful. I don't know.
He is misunderstood.
I
I know he is.
doubt that, but sure.
When the dominant leader controls the information, when Asmodeus can say whatever he wants and people just swallow it, hook, line, and sinker, trust me, he is our enemy. Primaire. I am not trying to convince you. You can have your own opinion. I'm sorry. I did not mean to pry. Merci for telling me this about.
Solitude. I do
Oui,
hope that one day
Theory.
you and I do hope that one day you and I do not find ourselves standing as enemies.
Oh, I do too. I have to do a lot of traveling through time to tangle wits and powers with me. You saw what I did to Billy say, and that was just with my inner thighs.
What are you talking about? Tyrus wasn't there for that. That was Tali.
Oh, I wrestled him. It was fun. We will be
Right.
fine, you and I.
I hope so.
I do too. She says very seriously back at you. Slight fang showing. I'll go down. I'll go below deck. And ponder that, and then when the time is right, I will reach out and ask Gannicus. Check your DMs, Adrian.
Oh, gotcha.
My notes section on Tyrus just got a lot bigger.
I'm ready for you whenever, John, in terms of Levistus.
Okay. Sure. So she will trace out her icy runes and sit down in the middle of them and attendez-moi, monseigneur. Monsieur Levistos, Solitude calls for you in airtime.
What is it, Solitude?
Thank you for what you told me in my dream the other night. I am attempting most assiduously to deduce the identity of this queen and of this blade. One of my companions just mentioned that. I have another question, s'il vous plaît.
Ask, and I shall answer as best I'm able.
It is a question personal. Forgivez-moi if it is too far, but one of my companions knows of another overlord with whom you have a relationship with, Edral Katur.
Solitude, I have seen into the depths of your soul. We have no secrets from one another. You wish to know of Dralkatul, my long-lost love. Why do you wonder of such things? Who tells you of such names?
One of my companions, I'm sure it does not matter who, but it was brought up and I thought I should ask it of you. Where has she gone? Who worships her? Do you wish me to try to locate her and bring you together, or tell me more, master, and I will assist.
Such is neither your burden nor your quest, Solitude. She represents the cold, the heart of winter, the fear mortals have of the frost setting in upon them. She has no followers. She is seen as an overlord amongst the rest of us. Yet like myself, none amongst the Lords of Dust have any affinity for her.
Would she be of assistance against that archfiend Asmodeus and his schemes with the Rakshasa? Says, mist escaping from her mouth as she asks the question.
Were she not lost to me? Most certainly. But she as I am now, imprisoned. And perhaps more so permanently than even me.
Do you know where she lies imprisoned?
I do not.
Monseigneur Asmodeus. I am doing my best to bring about an end to him and to this mockery and to save this land. I am sorry to learn of your additional pain. I know that you are strong and it matters not to you. Excuse me for presuming otherwise. Thank you for what you told me. I will leave you be. Adieu.
Do not give in to Asmodeus' taunts, Solitude. You must remain calm, steady-minded. He is neither your task nor any of your companions. Leave him to me.
Oui, merci. I have let him get under my proverbial skin.
Then he has
I know
already
what
won.
No. It is... No.
Then let it not be so. Rid him of your mind.
Yes. I shall mention him no more, master. Monseigneur. I shall resume my task. Adieu. She gathers up her little circle.
Go with caution, Solitude.
The last of Levistus.
She's just going to stay down there and ponder, kind of meditate on that. Meditate on all of it, especially try to silence her mind from any thoughts of Asmodeus. Because he's definitely gotten under her skin.
Meanwhile, Rock.
Yes.
The shadow. It couldn't be Belshazzar. Could it? Not possible.
What Shadow's true identity was, I could not know.
It seemed too big of a thing to be possible. But then again, impossible things seem to be happening around us all the time now.
Well, let's not despair, Tears.
Hmm.
Let's merely take things one day at a time.
I'm not sure how a time traveler is supposed to do that.
Well, try not to take them two at a time, because if they're as busy as today, I think more than one at a time might kill us.
Well, let's try to avoid that.
Almost as if on cue, Bluey shows up at wherever Raktarn and Tiras are currently, like seeming to come up on you as if he was looking for you, specifically Raktarn. And he says, I have been studying this book, and this character in it. He reminds me much of the plague you found yourself struck by after touching that Kyber shard. Look at here. He points to a particular bit of text about Raktilkesh. And Raktilkesh was one of the overlords who ruled over Eberron during the Age of Demons. He was bound by the dragons and the Coatl after they jointly discovered the Draconic Prophecy, and the Coatl sacrificed themselves to form the Silver Flame, blah 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 blah. Raktilkesh's essence has come to be divided among many Kyber dragon shards. This is what Blue's highlighting specifically, from which he can exert his influence. One of these shards is contained in a ring carried by Mordakesh, and another is below the city of Talios. He goes on to read more and more about Raktilkesh. But specifically, he finds that piece of information interesting, as of all of the things that you guys have studied, looked at, found, this is probably the closest thing in text to a description of what had afflicted Raktarn. And, ironically, it's also called Rock. Raktilkesh, just with an A and a K.
Interesting.
I did think that simply announcing himself as a shadow seemed too on the nose. You might be onto something, Bluey. Still,
Overlords are often considered liars, if this book holds any weight.
oh, obviously.
Did the creature not claim that it was Kyber at some point to you, Raktarn?
I do not remember that in game, Gan. I don't think that was actually the case. At least not. I don't remember that.
It did say it was Kyber incarnate or something to that effect.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it might have been during like a Raktarn's unconscious kind of situation, but I feel like I remember hearing that.
Well, it's shortly to say I don't know if Rock would know that.
In any case, as with all overlords, Raktilkesh has no true fixed form, and as such can assume any shape or size of his choosing.
Blue continues to read from the text.
Mm-hmm.
He's just basically just kind of like stringing about pieces of information that he finds interesting, trying to throw them out to the group here. I think he was sitting outside your door while he was reading this book, or wherever you guys were having your conversation, because he got excited when he heard your conversation and wanted to share this piece as well.
Well, I worry about what that entity is and where it's gone and what it's doing.
As do I.
There's little-
That it
there's
has
little that
much
we-
information about us, Raktarin.
Indeed. Perhaps we can endeavor to do more than it thinks us capable of.
And Louis, I wanted to ask you something. You speak of the draconic prophecies frequently. Do you have a copy of them at all, or an inscription, or anything that I could study?
I'm going to try and explain this as me instead of Bluey. The Draconic Prophecy is years and years of wise men and women who have, and not just men and women really, I guess I should say all really races and species have contributed to it. It's pieces of the future laid out in prophetic form. Basically, such and such will happen, and upon this happening, this happens, and it's just that it's a long line that if you were to read this as a person, it would read like a story, all connected together somehow, each event spurning another, and that's the best way to describe the Draconic Prophecy. In no place would you find a complete inscription of it written down somewhere. It's been pieced together over time, and many people have different viewpoints on it. So to say, there'd be one set Draconic Prophecy, there's
Kind of where I was trying to go, yeah.
thousands of prophecies interwoven into one grand story.
What is it that leads you to believe that we six are the key to stopping the overlords, specifically? I was
The piece of prophecy
thinking
that
on
the
it.
six pertain to would be the fall of Dul Azurak. It is said that he will rise once again, and the six will stand and meet him, along with a great force that they raise from its own depths. From my, novice understanding of this, I would say that means that we are to raise Sybaris to face down Dul Azurak. But how can this be? It was destroyed long ago. There is but one other. Throughout the annals of history, throughout all of the research I've conducted, that may fit the description of one who could stand to Dul Azurak. And this would be his sister, Dul Aranak.
Lore drop.
Lore thunk.
You say the name again? Of the sister?
And Dan, your stream is saying we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, Dularanok. Okay, got it.
I'm doing my best to record stuff. Spelled it wrong.
I probably spelled it wrong too, don't feel bad. Yes, that is the name of his sister, Dul Aranak. He explains as I think he may have talked a little bit about their clash before. Dularonik is actually who banished Dulazurak to the depths of Kyber. And their story is so similar to the creation story of Eberron itself. The story of the 3 progenitor dragons. The only thing that's missing is a 3rd dragon. The sister that started it all. Because it was the death of Sybaris that caused Eberron to strike down Kyber. But in the situation of Dulazurak and Dularonik, Dulazurak desired, similar to Kyber, more power. Did not want to rule with his sister, he wanted to rule divine. Without any question of another.
But as you said, there are many different interpretations. Thanks, Bluey.
I hope it helps, Tyrus. I do not know why, but I have come to believe that these stories somehow are the same. They change as they're carried from person to person or mind to mind over time.
As stories tend to do.
Yes, perhaps that is why they are different now.
All right, thank you.
Again, how close are we now to Zollenberg?
I would say we can probably like stop there now if you guys want to kind of like fast forward time.
Sure.
But from a time perspective, I would be guessing you guys probably traveling for 5 or 6 hours at this point. A lot of reading, a lot of conversation
I
going
kind
on.
of pictured this was just happening over the course of days.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
There you go. And exactly. Days, hours, who knows? I was just gonna get you guys there.
Time is mutable.
Plug in that long rest. All right,
You're traveling with a time traveler. It's what we want it to be.
You're like, that didn't take a couple hours. It took. Let me just pull out the SCM real quick.
When we get there, she does want to go see Orochi real quick. And then I think that's my last thing.
Got it.
I'll shut up.
No, go.
Goes and knocks on Orochi's door.
He answers it. Yes, Tyrus, what can I do for you?
I thought I would see if I could do anything for you. And she looks pretty awkward. Like, she's kind of drawn in on herself.
Well, I have just the thing. And he'll welcome her into his room. And he'll direction her towards his desk where the Warforged head kind of is. And it's currently like open. And he'll pull out like a little prism, like a pyramid-shaped object. And he says, "You recognize this, don't you? It's a prime matrix where their memories are stored. I would wonder if you could do something for me. Could you set it to where I can program its memories? Things that it would know, things that it would believe." a way for it to be, a personality.
I imagine I can do that. Sure.
Ah, yes. Figure I can get you something to do other than harp over those books. It's different when you're working on something with your hands, when you're busy
Yes.
figuring something out.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I spent a lot of time working with my hands when I was young.
I figure you say that, and this will be just the thing. Although this is different from the book that we studied. Seems like the Lord of Blades has something else in mind. He bypassed its monicum of free will. These are more rudimentary, fundamental. If you could bypass this also, that would be most appreciated. Seemed like he programmed all these to be mindless soldiers. You can note this receiver right here. It's something that I would imagine helps him control them all, some type of central signal unit.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yes, if you could. I imagine that's how he will control such a large force. Huh. Anyways, if you could remove this for me, and he'll pull out like a parchment that has sort of like his rough ideas on what to do, and he'll hand it to her.
This is fantastic. Actually, did you come up with this on your own?
Yes. Although Anko did give me some of his expertise, it's something that I've been spending most of my time with. It's something I kept on me, actually. It survived our time travel, so I had quite a bit more time to work on it.
Very clever. I think I follow what you're doing. I can carry it on.
Well, I would appreciate that.
Orochi.
Yes.
You asked me one time, or said something about the prophecies and how not all of us are dragon marked. Wondering, didn't you?
I believe we had that conversation some time ago. Was it in the city, I believe?
I think so. Do you think that the prophecies could be wrong? Or that Bluey's misinterpreting it?
I believe that the prophecies are so extensive and unknowable that whatever happens somehow was meant to happen in the prophecy. So much so that any interpretation will be an interpretation of reality. So much so that one can make their own destiny, in the sense that we're writing the prophecy as we live, and that the truth of the prophecy will play out in our own lives.
So...
Do you have doubts?
So they're meaningless, then?
I think that the meaning that they have is the meaning that you give them. If you believe that they are true, and you live your life as such, then they will be true. Do you have doubts?
No, of course not. Just theory crafting. Mm-hmm.
Insight check?
You don't need to. She's a terrible liar.
Yeah.
You don't need to. She's a terrible liar, man.
Okay. Is she lying terribly, or is she telling the truth?
I mean, you figured it out. I'm sure Orochi knows too.
Brian knows, Orochi knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, he'll say, He'll say, well, Tears, did you have any conversations with your future self?
Oh, she wouldn't tell me very much. She couldn't.
But her existence proves us right, wouldn't you think?
Or wrong. How can one of the six that is to bring down Dula Zurak also be one of the people that very nearly handed the keys to the destruction of this world to the Rakshasa? I might as well have gift wrapped it. You dislike me enough to tell me the truth. What do you think, Orochi?
Well, we the Yuma do put a lot of credence into the dragon prophecies. It's what, to be honest with you, tethers me to all of you. It's a compelling argument for why we should work together as opposed to work apart. If I were you, I would cast these doubts away. They'll only hinder you. If you believe that we are the ones to save Colvera, then we will be. It's that simple.
You make it sound a lot easier than it is, I think.
Because if you
Maybe
wish it to be, it is that easy.
I have been told many times that I overcomplicate things and miss the obvious. So perhaps you're right. Thanks. I'll get to working on this.
I would appreciate that.
And she'll take what you gave her to work on, and she will get busy.
Okay, yeah. He'll smile as she walks away and he'll get back to work.
It's right about this time you guys pull up on the outskirts of Zolenberg. You find an interesting scene from the outside of town. The inner city and the castle have been closed off to the public. War has been declared.
Ooh.
Oh no.
The king has declared war on the goblins of Dargoon, resulting
Sweet.
after... you get this information relatively quickly from just being on the outskirts of town, rumor-wise. But as you guys kind of settle in, you would gather pretty quickly that there's been an invasion in nearby Olkan, which is a dwarvish hunting outpost out in the frosty mountains of Olkan. And the goblins basically raided this outpost, leaving no survivors, but the few stragglers who made it back to Zolenberg to tell the sad tale of Olkan. With Olkan being no more, and casualties being at a tragic high, the king had nothing left to do but to declare a war on Dargoon officially. And this has been the first declaration of war since the Treaty of Thronehold. Now, it doesn't violate that treaty, as Dargoon is nowhere found in that treaty. However, it is the first significant act of war since the last war. And I think to most people, and to most individuals, we'll say, that would be jarring. Especially those that spent time in the war.
Yeah.
Is the overall sense that everyone has, like, Bells asked a really good question about like political views from outsiders. Everybody's view of war at this point would be we've reached our limit of it. You know, the Irish felt about eating potato soup after the potato famine. We wanted something else besides potatoes. And the people of Eberron want something else besides war. Matter of fact, I think we were pretty happy to have those potatoes. But that being said, citizens are tired of war, and the overall state of the outskirts, which has become sort of a conglomerate of merchants that have been stacked up and turned away from the inner city and castle of Zolenberg, only to find themselves trying to do their business on the outskirts here. Luckily for you, a great number of shops and merchants are still open to do your business and trading. And I think I changed everybody's menu to their new menu except Lyra, so I'm going to do that right now.
And I accidentally closed out of Tailspire. Could you
Oh, absolutely. I'll summon everybody to this map. I think I need to do that anyway. That's my bad. And Steve is still hopping back in, I think. So
Yeah,
I'll give
I'm
him
on
a
my
second.
phone. My computer's doing the whole run startup, blah 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 blah.
Guys, this doesn't bode well for an orderly haggling sort of war. And I'm gonna, actually, I take
War?
that back. My backstory, actually, I may be able to do some.
All the RP chat in our other
Maybe
game
better.
prepared me for the haggling wars today, John. There's a lot of shopping going on in a separate RP chat. All right.
I'll just make an NPC. I'll make an NPC that'll buy. it from
Don't
me,
you
know.
dare do that.
Hi, my name's Phineas Alberson. Sure, I'll pay top dollar for your
Yes.
adamantite.
real.
How do you do, Solitude?
Real quick before we take a 5-minute break before you guys hop into town and do your shopping and stuff, I'll give you guys some background to that so you can laugh a little bit with us. So I introduced RP Chat to this group because they're awesome and you guys are awesome, and I wanted to show them something that my other awesome group had made to these awesome people, and they're like, "This is awesome," and I was like, "Awesome people made this," so I take no credit. But they are having just as much fun as you guys have in RP Chat, and they're blowing things up. But like, they're not like on your guys' par of RPers, I would say, besides John. So like, they don't exactly know like what to do in RP Chat. You guys made RP Chat, so all of the rules of RP Chat are based on your guys' actions. Never have you guys made random NPCs in the RP chat, so I'd just like to say thank you for that. Because like 3 or 4 random NPCs got created by players, and then they were like role-playing the NPCs and themselves, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening?
I'll sell you a crossbow for
What is
12
happening here?
gold.
I was like,
No,
that didn't happen, but they are making an NPC.
we no NPCs, John.
So my reply was, there may be some rogue NPCs, but there's no rogue NPCs. And I think they got the picture after that. So it was hilarious. We learned some things about how to.
Never even.
It was crazy. It got weird. I got scared, and John saved me.
Oh no.
But
I'm not sure how I saved you. I just played by the rules. That probably gave you a feeling of comfort and familiarity.
yeah, that made me feel like that not everybody was going crazy and that I was going crazy. I was like, wait a minute, who is Madame Helga? They're like, oh, that's the shopkeeper. I'm like, who the fuck's that?
Oh no, you made Madame Helga. That's the anus is on you for that one.
No,
But some people did make up other
Dan
people.
totally made Madame Helga, dude. I did
He
not.
made up Madame Helga.
He totally, because he started the NPC creation. Then Simon made another one, and I was like, all right, I gotta stop this before it gets out of control. Someone's gonna start being Strahd soon.
I'm fucking slinging. That's where you were like, no, with this 300 gold enchantment. I thought Madame Helga came from you.
Yes, dude.
Oh, dang, dude.
All of this stuff is coming from Dan's perspective of Madame Helga, and while Dan is probably an excellent creator of NPCs, I have no idea what he's doing behind the scenes.
It's naughty. That is naughty. Naughty.
It was interesting. Enjoy your guys' quick
By
break.
guys, we have We have a Tyrus in our group. We have a Tyrus.
Wait, what?
Yep. She's a druid ranger. Oh, she's gorgeous. And she talks a little bit like a Zelira, actually. She's a Fey wanderer, but this is like her first time in a town ever, and she wanted to try alcohol because she heard about alcohol, and now she's drunk and she's running around, and she just found out that orphans get sent to St. Andrew's Church. So she's just jetting off to St. Andrew's Church while we're all trying to buy armor and weapons.
And she drank water to sober up, so she should be fine by now.
Oh, she should be fine. Yeah, she's great. She's great. She's running off to St. Andrew's Church, where, remember, I told these guys about the
I really want to mix. I really want to mix
scene.
parties. One session, just have you guys go into their world, or them come into your world somehow.
That'd be great, like a guest, like when the Globetrotters showed up for Scooby Doo.
I would love it. I would love that to happen at some point, but I gotta think of a way to make that happen without exploding my brain at the same time.
The mists. Time travel. Like we have two
It
easy
was all a
mechanisms.
dream.
The mechanics are there for sure. It's just making it happen without it sucking is the key.
I will happily be your globetrotter sometime. If you want a sad orphan to suddenly pop into your world, do nothing important, and then die, I will be that orphan.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, there is some orphans at the St. Andrew's Church, so you know, if you
Ooh, and when I'm done with them, they'll still be orphans. That made me sound really bad, and I don't really know why I said it that way.
You're like, I'd like to retract my previous statement. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some to drink. I'll be right back.
Some bad moments happen at St. Andrew's Church. Some funny ass moments.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alexi attacking the priest.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
God.
It was absolutely the worst.
I do the talking from now on.
Alright, I'm gonna step away too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go step away. All right.
Wow, we've been in this campaign for 10 months. That is wild.
Yeah, really think about that, Steve, because think about how long we stayed at one level when we were playing with Paragon. Like, how long were we at that one level?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think it was a good 5 months.
Does that mean we're due for a level? If we're averaging a level?
No,
every
it's
month?
No. Wait.
no.
No, because we had like a week off, like two separate weeks off or something like that, didn't we?
We actually haven't played for almost 3 weeks, I think. The last time we played was...
Last week.
No, we didn't play last week because we were gonna play on Thursday, and then
It has
something
been
happened.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yes.
But didn't we play twice that week, or was that the week prior? I don't know.
It did. I feel like we did have sessions that were stacked close, but I think it was because we had a Thursday and then a Wednesday, and I think then we went like 15 days, not 2 weeks.
Yes.
So probably why it seems a little bit longer. I think.
Sure. I have no reason to doubt that sounds right, But I was just saying it's wild that it's been 10 months. So we started in oh my god, September. Bonkers.
Damn, I'm gonna miss the year anniversary.
Oh. Oh. Poop.
I honestly thought about taking a 3-month hiatus for the entire group so that Brian doesn't miss anything. And I still have not decided on whether or not I'm going to do that or not, to be honest.
That would be so tremendously sad, but I would also kind of understand.
I mean,
I wouldn't want to do that. I mean,
well,
if you guys want to go without me, yeah.
Well, no, we could just shit. I mean, we could just take a break, play a different game, come back when you're ready.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, that's cool too.
I don't know, that I would be sad, but I'd rather you be here for the whole thing than miss out.
What's going on? What?
Oh, I was just talking about how long it's been since we started this campaign, and then Brian mentioned he's going to be missing the 1-year mark, and Gan was kind of saying like, well, he's considering a 3-month hiatus so that Brian doesn't miss out.
Well, see, then I would feel guilty though if I was the reason why you guys stopped playing. I'd feel guilty. But Gan was saying that he would like if you guys want, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't just be Brian taking a hiatus in that sense. This would be me taking a hiatus as well. To Brian's point, we had discussed it, and I was like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me to do the same thing you're doing, which is, taking that Thursday and putting it towards, some studying and bettering of yourself personally. I right now.
You want me to hit the gym or something and like bulk up, learn shit, like get some clients?
Yeah, I've been trying to do all those things actually recently, like exercising, going outside more, letting my vampire pale skin get some tan because it's good for your body, I guess, to get sunlight on your skin. Just not too much, apparently.
Well, come over to Arizona. We're giving away all of that. Everything you just mentioned, got all of that.
Every time I go there,
got plenty for everybody.
I come back looking like a lobster, man.
Yes.
Actually, I had a great tan from Arizona. It's a beautiful place.
That's cool. I may have to cut out early tonight.
I just realized I am possibly not going to be able to play next week Thursday.
Oh?
I am driving to Georgia for a tournament on the weekend, and I was going to leave Thursday night. I can probably try to get out of here as early as possible and then get to Delaware so that I can play there because I'm going to bring my laptop.
I grew up in Delaware. Newark?
Yeah, actually, that's where my family lives.
Dates of Nights?
No, never been there.
Oh, God, go to fucking Days of Nights on Main Street. I'll message you it.
Oh, wait, is that little card shop that's over there?
On Main Street, Newark?
Yeah, across from... it's near that little theater that they put up over there.
Well, I don't know the theater. It's been years, but yeah, Days of Nights.
If anybody is interested in some cool pictures, just Google Delaware. The picture spread that happens when you Google Delaware is pretty impressive. I did not expect Delaware to be that pretty of a state.
It's a pretty place.
It's got good falls.
I don't know why I'm hating on Delaware. Delaware just sounds very plain. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It is.
Sounds
Pretty
like
lame.
something you'd find in a kitchen. Where's the
Well, there's a
Where's the
Wayne's World.
Delaware?
They made fun of Wayne's World in Maine.
Oh,
in
you know,
Wayne's World.
shit. Now that you said that, yeah, I can totally. Honey, where'd you put my Delaware?
God damn it, honey. He ruined all the good Delaware.
Someone stained my Delaware.
Where'd you get your Delaware from?
It sounds like a name of a boat. Like we spent 3 months on the Delaware.
That's even
River.
better.
The river.
I just bought my new.
Apparently
I just bought my
also a
new
city in
stainless
Ohio.
steel Delaware.
Okay, so I have to be out of here by 5 o'clock to make it to Delaware by 8. I think that's still possible.
Oh, yeah, I forget you live.
Worst case
Yeah.
scenario, I can listen in the car. Like I can just listen while I'm driving. I don't want you guys to miss a session because we've been A, missing a lot of sessions lately, and B, it depends on whether or not we're taking this hiatus or not. So I mean, I guess it would really depend on that.
Hiatus pending.
Hiatus pending.
Well, we know that we're
Well,
not.
that would.
Wait,
Go ahead.
are we talking about all taking a break from the game while Brian's out? I hadn't heard that.
Brian doesn't want us to, but
I haven't heard anything on this till now.
I think this is. I think it's a relative news to.
This is
everyone.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
recent as of
what?
the last 5 minutes being mentioned.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
And not officially happening in any capacity whatsoever. Just throwing it out there. I had talked to Brian about this when he initially brought this up to me, saying, "Hey, I have some ideas on how I want to go out and how I want to finish things, at least for the interim until I can come back." And I had basically just kind of sat and thought about it myself and said, personally, I could probably benefit from doing something like that too for a little while, like focusing on some personal things with the time that I've got. And I said, hey, maybe I would take a hiatus with you and give you that time to do this without having to worry about being absent from the group, so to speak. But I think everybody should weigh in on that. You guys have all committed your time to this, so I think everybody kind of has an equal say. It wouldn't just be me saying, I'm gonna step away for 3 months and hopefully all you guys stick around and come back 3 months later. But I think there's definitely room for me to improve some things in my life. And just personally, I've been working on some certifications that require a lot of time, and I spend a lot of my time doing this.
Hell.
I want you to know that we really, really, really appreciate all the time you spend
I
in
know you do.
Pulse
Yeah.
I know
You
you do.
really do.
And I am aware
Oh
of that.
goodness.
I know that, from a responsibility perspective, I am not usually one to hold myself accountable. So
Well,
forcefully
Want
doing
to
it.
move to every other week? Would that help?
I think it would, in a sense, but I'm definitely like a routine-based person, and I just saw 3 months as a time for me to boot camp and knock out a few certifications. That was my perspective.
Maybe it would be a good I'm not saying yay or nay to my personal opinion on this quite yet, but I could understand if you're feeling at all burnt out. I know if it were me and I was being honest, it just needed a break to just I guess revitalize those creative juices, kind of recenter myself and come back. And if like I knew it made my gameplay stronger, I would take that chance. That's just me. But like, I mean, if you need the break, man, you know, like I'd hate for you to feel burnt out in any capacity. And if you need that period of time, because having, you know, making sure Brian's there for every step of the way, it enhances the story and kind of keeps your peace of mind as well. Like, yeah.
It does. I mean, Orochi has become extremely important to the storyline overall. Do I think that, you know, we could survive and have, you know, 3 months of play and still have a ton of fun, you know, with Brian absent and coming back in 3 months? Absolutely. You know, but at the same time, when I see an opportunity to take 3 months off, that's what enticed me, I guess. You know, when I said, okay, that would give me the opportunity to go and probably, instead of spending this time prepping and running this session, you know, just invest that into studying. I've actually already committed to the fact that I'm gonna cancel my Wednesday night game completely. So this seemed like a window to, you know, open up, you know, just more time for myself. But like I said, I was just putting it out there. I would want a group vote on that, a vote from everybody, if they're willing to do something like that or not. And were the group willing to do something like that, you know, would be the only occasion that I think we would do it. Otherwise, we're going to finish out the campaign as we intended to do, start to finish, on a weekly basis. And that would be that. And Brian's seat would be reserved until he got back.
Yeah. Dude, are we like? I know it was mentioned in passing, but is this conversation happening right now? Like truly, or I don't know.
Kind of seems like it naturally just happened.
I mean, I think this is an important time to have this conversation, namely because of Brian not being available starting next week.
Right.
And also me possibly not being here next week.
Yep.
My 2 cents on it is, as someone who has joined a campaign like really deep into it, like several like years in, like when I joined Paragon's campaign before this one, it can feel really disconnecting to come into a game where a lot of things have happened that you haven't been present for. So I imagine coming back to this campaign where a lot of things happen from session to session, and coming in after missing 3 months worth of it, I imagine that could be really disconcerting, and he might not feel as attached to the game as he did when he was here for almost every session.
That's one thing you don't have to worry about. I'm going to be listening every week. I'm going to be listening every week if you guys record it. That's for sure.
That's fair and true. I don't what's the word for I don't doubt that. I'm just speaking from perspective, like it can feel kind of disorienting. I don't know if it would, but also I am okay with taking a break. I do really love this. I do really love this game. It's one of the games I look forward to most in the week. But I understand Gan wanting a break to do things that take time and coming back better for it. We could all come back better for it. I think a little of it is and stop me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying anything that is not true about anybody. I think that we all looked forward to this together as a group a lot, but also sometimes I feel like everyone is a little tired sometimes.
I would agree with that.
That could just be a time of day. That could just be a time of day thing, though.
Possibly. But that is not to say that anybody hates the session or doesn't want to be here, but I think 3 months away and coming back with everyone refreshed and ready to start playing and getting into it at that point all together, I think that might be better. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it works for everybody. 2 cents done.
I have kind of the opposite opinion. I feel like if we take 3 months off and try to come back at Thanksgiving, well, we might as well just wait until January because it's the holidays and people are going to keep missing. So
And
we might as well
and
just
that's what I'm
wait.
scared of too. And that's what I'm scared of too. That
Yeah,
is what I'm
and
scared of
then
too.
I
we'll
was
have
not
been
thinking about
off
the
for
time of
so
year.
long. We're not going to remember what was really happening. We're not going to be like really in tune with our characters or each other anymore. And it's a long time. People are going to find other things to do on Thursdays, and maybe not everybody will come back. 4 months
Yeah,
hiatus is
that's what
where
I was scared
campaigns go
of.
to die. That's what I'm worried about.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. Yeah, because I definitely understand again needing a break. I definitely
Yeah, for
understand that.
sure.
But
I mean,
I'm worried about like the things running cold. That's what I'm worried about. But I
at the end
definitely
of
at the
the
same time
day,
understand needing a break.
it is totally your call, Gan. If you just need to stop, you just need to stop. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
life.
Yep.
But I think that if we think we're going to come back after 4 months and just pick right back up and everything's going to be just like it was, I think we're setting our hopes too high.
Yeah, I think it won't. It's not going to be pick up where you left off, like riding a bike. I think it might be a rocky entry back in, and 4 months is a lot of time of memory loss of things that have happened and staying connected to. Even even though Malcolm remembers things that happened in session 1 like they were yesterday, sometimes like that, dude, that was awesome. By the
And
way,
that was some pretty impressive pool. Yeah, that was impressive.
your recall of
That was
that
impressive.
situation was like masterfully in depth. I have a OneNote with notes on every session. I went back to my session 1 notes, and you had like more detail on that than I did. But everything that you had tracked with my memory. That's pretty impressive, sir.
That is my only strength at D&D. It's the only reason I don't take notes. I remember almost every session.
Yeah.
At least a general idea of what happened in almost every session.
That's kind of my fear too, and I'm on the fence myself too about taking a break. Like taking a break is great for me because it gives me time to study for certifications. You know what I mean? That's about it. It's the only really reason why I need a break. I don't think I'm like burnt out from sessions. I think I know I've had a couple of rocky sessions in the last maybe few months, but I think that's just more so work getting to me, honestly, guys. And I'm coming usually out of these sessions like right after work. I've just had some work struggles, so I've had to compartmentalize those two pieces of my life a little bit, and I think I've been doing better at doing that at least.
I know Cody hasn't had a say yet. I wanted to hear what Cody had to say before we move forward / talk more.
I was actually thinking that I'm not really wanting to take a break, but someone mentioned it. Maybe just switch to like every other week. It would be somewhat a compromise.
Or what if we take like 1 month off instead of like you guys take 1 month off, for Gander to get some time in instead of the whole 4 months.
I think. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say 1 month would be something that would make sense for me as well, and like bi-weekly is like I get from your perspective that buys me the time back every other week, but think about studying on a rhythm. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair. That's a good point.
So just and that's all I'm trying to say. Like this is my only point to want to take any kind of a break. Like, I don't want you guys to think I'm burnt out or I feel like I need a break from the group, because that's not the
No.
case at all.
No.
I feel like, if anything, this would give me some time to go and knock some things out personally, and then come back with less of that weighing on my shoulders while I'm prepping the game. Because a lot of times when I'm prepping, I sometimes feel bad that I'm spending a lot of time doing that, knowing I should probably be investing some of that time back into studying. And that's not to make you guys feel guilty in any way. That's personally something that I obviously have to work on, right? But
Hey man, as someone who's in grad school full time while working, full time 2 jobs. I get it on such a spiritual level. It's so exhausting to balance that and a social life. It's tough.
I thought when I graduated the studying had ended, but there's no end
Right?
to the study, man. Life is a journey for more knowledge. Life is literally Tyrus's life.
It really is. Except for the occasional
Life is
betrayal.
Tyrus's life.
Exactly. The quest for
That should be on
eternal
a
knowledge.
So
That should be on a
Thank
t-shirt.
you.
Life is Tyrus's life. I would buy that and wear that shirt.
concreting plans.
Life is Tyrus's
Um,
life. I love that.
Why? And this is just my suggestion. Feel free to throw any tweaks in that you want. Just to get us on a path of discussion. So why don't we look at the 24th as our next session after tomorrow, and take a month off there? That's 4 weeks. Next week, the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th.
24th is on Monday.
no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
The 24th of August.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, Thursday, because the 26th of August is the day that I take my Network Plus. So that would be perfect.
I have a tournament that weekend, so I will be driving out Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know. I need a bit of a break from Belsay. Getting into the mindset of Belsay is really hard for me sometimes, just because he's sad so much. Which that was intentional, but I've been kind of playing in my head, which I haven't obviously really mentioned much to anybody because it's just been something in the back of my head about trying to give him a bit of a break. But maybe just having like that little bit of breathing room to like give him space from me so that I can come back at it, because life's been really stressful, and then coming into a character who is stressed all the time, it's not the most relaxing ever, which that, again, my choice, so I'm not like upset or anything by that, but I think a break would be kind of nice, just for myself, as for my own, honestly, studying sake. But even if we took, which it seems like it's not going to happen, but if we took a 3-month break, it doesn't mean we couldn't continue to play other stuff together. Just as an F1, in case anyone wanted to like play a one-shot sometime or something. I don't know.
Why don't we play? We could play like a Gaiden. We could play Italian Woodrose, recruit a team to go do something.
Yeah, like we could bullshit, have fun. Like it doesn't have to be. We could just take a break from the campaign itself and continue to play games together.
You mean after I take like a 1 month or something like that, come back and do 2 months of random stuff that is still this campaign themed, but not anything to do with our characters?
Yeah.
Sure. Shit. I mean, we could just have a fucking like combat, a day of combat where we're just like, hey, it's the middle of the fucking 100-year war.
That's
awesome. Here's a battle during the war. You could throw in some historical shit into it from Eberron so that gives us, lore on the world for fun. And then it's just combat. We could try a new character, but I don't know. It's just like taking.
I don't know, man. I like that. I like that Tally Woodrow's Gaiden. I like that a lot.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that sounded pretty
I
awesome
like that
too.
Yeah, I gotta admit,
That
I
sounds
agree.
badass.
So
That sounds badass. So that sounds
we're
like,
doing
you know,
that.
if we. That sounds like if
Side
we
quest,
like
let's
okay.
go.
Yeah, that sounds like pick up right after Tally and Woodrow's come back from the time travel, and they're like, "Holy shit! Hey, Woodrow's, are we back in time?"
And then everybody
and then they start from there.
And then everybody gets to play an alt.
I was gonna say you guys would all probably play alts. You know,
Oh,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
do that.
that'd be badass.
Can we do
Alright,
that?
well let's do that then. You know, I think honestly guys, 4 weeks gives me enough time to just focus study. I could even say to my Wednesday group, maybe in that case just do the same thing. So they don't have to get their campaign dreams squashed. But
Yeah,
to be honest, that group they sometimes seems like they just don't really care about the campaign at all. They just want to murder things.
Those groups.
They're certainly murder hobos and proud of it, but I love them for it, to be honest.
Sometimes you need to be a good murder hobo.
So the 24th, we do an alt thing until Brian comes back, and then we do go back to Prison Break.
Tally Woodrow's Gaiden. I love it.
I think that sounds like a really fun way to take a break and still play D&D and give you the month you need, and everybody wins.
Sounds good
And
to me.
and it's campaign setting relevant.
Mhm.
And it's mortality.
Yeah.
I'm
Everybody
gonna look
can
for
do
more
with some
Steel
mortality.
Drum songs.
More Tally Woodrow's. Oh, that combo. I think they'll get along really well with my alt character if it's the one I'm thinking I'm going to bring in. I think
That's such a good idea.
That is a really good
That's
idea.
such a good idea because, like, pick up, like, right after the time travel. They just pick up and then they just do their, like, they're like, wow, that really just happened. We just really went back in time.
Yeah, we
Okay,
go around
now
and
what?
We recruit
Oh my
a bunch
God.
of old team companions and do a heist thing. Like, hey, you son of a, I'm in.
Oh my god, this is like when you watch a Marvel movie. Like you've been binge watching Marvel movies for the longest time, and then you go to one of the TV shows where they're like, "Hey, we're also in Marvel. You remember when this one thing happened, but the rest of the story is completely irrelevant."
Or it's like a thing
Brandon
where
Sanderson interlude.
Oh my god, it is.
Oh, but those are sometimes really cool because you find out so much good stuff.
Who's to say we won't? Maybe we'll fight the little sister of the demonic six bitch, whatever the fuck her name is, the devil dark lady, dark six.
we should make it like a like a Marvel movie. Like, you know how something from
Where are the
Iron
Avengers?
Man would
I
tie
don't
into something
Ooh.
from Iron Man would tie into a Thor movie or something like that. Like whatever
yeah.
is the conclusion of the Gaiden will have some type of tie into our own campaign. Maybe Tally and Woodrow's can come up with the evidence that we need to clear Prince Ogev's name.
If you guys ever
Oh,
sit
that
here
would
and
be
have
crazy.
this conversation and I'm just like sitting there quiet in the background not saying anything for 5 minutes, it's because
just writing notes.
I'm just furiously scribbling right now.
It's like, look at all these ideas.
What?
Wait,
See, this is
Guys.
gonna backfire because Gan's gonna be spending so much time doing this all game. He's not gonna study.
No, I've got to lock it down.
Willpower.
I'm
Willpower.
a creature of habit for sure is the thing. So if I open up my time and I have nothing else to do but that, I will do that. But if
That sounds like a superpower, and I'm jealous.
it's
Discipline.
Some people think it's a superpower. I feel like it's kind of a curse because it gets to be like maddening. Like, you know how I spend too much time building maps? Well, yeah, I probably will spend too much time studying to the point where it hurts.
ooh.
Hyper focus. Let's go.
Yeah,
So-
it's
Use your
a tough
powers.
life.
Use your ADHD powers. For good.
Exactly. Taking a break is what I'll need to remember to do.
Well, we will gladly step in and put questions for the DM about how much you're studying and try to rest.
Get some sleep.
Yeah.
If you see me online at 1 a.m., go to bed.
Oh, I can do that.
Well, 1 a.m. for you is 2 a.m. for me, so that's when I'm going to bed.
Dude.
That
Oh.
makes sense.
Shit, that's same. Never mind, Gan. Fuck you. I'm not doing that.
you're like, buddy, you're on your own. Set an alarm.
I'll tell you what. I'll set a 3 a.m. alarm because I'm the same time frame as Malcolm. And if you're online, I'll wake up, yell at you, and then go back to bed.
Naughty Discord message and the immediate sleep. Well, I don't want to rob you guys of any more integral session time. It sounds like we've got a fairly decent plan laid out here, and if everybody else is for it, I'm for it. We'll put it to a final vote post-session. Everybody can take some time, take the night to sleep on it, make their decision in the morning, and we will know by the time we meet again tomorrow what is going on, what is going down, and what the plans for the future are. But I just want to say I do appreciate all your guys' consideration, both me and Brian.
I appreciate it too.
Working a better.
I know this is.
I would rather everyone
this is
be here,
legit.
be 100% in the game than missing down a member when our DM having to study. I'd rather us be 100% and having fun.
Well,
Sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Brian, you'll just have to listen to all of the tally chaos.
I with bated breath.
Ooh, what if we all? What if we
So
all
sad though, because she won't be able to flirt with Orochi the whole time.
Well,
You sound so heartbroken.
Oh, we got some actual chats out there today. It's kind of weird. Someone said, "Can Orochi say hi?" Someone
Wait,
said,
really?
Yes.
What?
Someone said L. Like 3 people chatted today. It's weird. I don't ever get chats on the Twitch stream. And Gobinda Malik said, laughing face, heart eyes. These are like some decent little chats. I love it. It's hilarious. And then Ben Eastman, can Orochi say hi? So someone wants you to say hi out there, Orochi. Orochi will not say hi. We will not be had peanuts thrown at us, sir. Bark at your commands.
Oof.
Oh my
Got told.
God.
Woof.
Okay. I am going to go disappear for the night into the dark.
Yeah.
It is
One day.
late.
all right. Get your Wood Rose playlist ready, Malcolm. That's your
Yes,
that's your
it is
homework.
drum time. Let's go.
Oh, I can't wait for the steel drum band.
I have
Come back.
a month worth of steel drum music to come up with in a playlist.